Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that.
No one expected this kind of beatdown. So the question is, was she that good or was he that Trump? And will he debate again?
I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
Trump had 5 times the experience in presidential debates, yet she was his master in every way you can dominate.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the president of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital.
Last week's violent attack on the Capitol was undemocratic, un-American, and criminal.
We're here. We saw what happened. It was a violent insurrection.
Trump made 3 really bad mistakes. 1, he's Trump, so that was kind of unavoidable. I mean, he's a malignant, sociopathic, misogynistic, racist prick, so that was his baseline.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
television. But the people on television saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
That's my favorite part of this debate, and I will never let it go. But that was only one of his mistakes. The second mistake is he didn't prep. Why? Good question, but an easy answer. He's incapable. Ask anyone who's ever worked with him, and they'll tell you his mind is like one of those wireless little cars you bought your kids that start running around the house whenever you turn the microwave on. He's just not well.
Well, first, you saw someone, and I think Sonny said this earlier, you saw someone who's exquisitely well prepared and somebody who was not. Yeah. And these things are hard. Yeah. You go out there, there's 70, 80 million people watching you. And you go out on the stage and you are by yourself in every way that you can be. No staff, no family, no conversation. No notes, no phones, nothing. And so if you're not well prepared, things can go off the rails pretty quick. Now, when you add to it that he's just a really angry guy. Yeah. So, I got asked before the debate which Donald Trump was going to show up. Yeah. And I said, well, in the beginning, the calm Donald Trump will show up because he knows that's what he's supposed to be in order to do well. I said, but this is not a solo act. Yeah. This is an interactive thing. And as soon as either one of the questioners or the vice president would get him riled up, he'll go off.
You say he should be prepared. He has no attention span, and he's unable to retain information.
He's not saying he's capable of preparation.
I didn't say he was.
But how do you prepare?
Well, no, look. You can prepare, even because I did it with him in 2016. Even with someone with his limited attention span. He's 8 years older.
He's had a decline. As my Aunt Julie would say, he took a drop.
But the third mistake was actually doing the debate.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden. And I am certainly not Donald Trump.
Maybe he thought she was, but after all the smack Trump said about Harris, you knew she would be ready. And ready she was.
Execution after birth. It's an execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born.
The question now is, should Trump debate again? I mean, the Harris camp is, yeah, let's do it. But Trump's like, no, I won, so why should I debate again? Nice try.
I know when we started the interview, you said that you felt that you won the debate last night, your best ever. I think before the debate happened last night, the Kamala Harris people said that they would actually like to do another debate.
Here's a story. When 2 fighters fight and one loses, the first thing they do is ask for a debate, or they ask for a fight. So in this case, a debate. So we had 2 people. They lost very badly.
The next 6 weeks will be the same playbook. Immigrants are taking over America, eating cats and dogs, while Democrats are killing babies at that pizza place in D.C. But with an all-time ratings book last night, can anyone who witnesses ever believe his insanity again?
But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say,
after watching more than 100 prominent Republicans in effect say this,
I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone, but your dishonor will remain.
Well, now you wonder if Trump will be forced to try another debate simply because no one no longer believes anything he says.
Yeah, look, Trump can't tell the difference between what's true and what's false. It's not that he lies a lot, because to lie, you have to do it consciously. He just can't tell the difference. So he makes up what he wants to say at any given time. If it happens to comport with what everybody else sees, well, that's fine. And if it doesn't comport with anybody else, he doesn't really care. And he's had decades of getting away with it.
And while the laundry list of Republicans saying adios is voluminous, none of it hurts like watching Fox fold up their tent and call him out.
Well, look, I will answer that question by saying I was on with my friend Mark Thiessen last night, who's a conservative Republican, and he made these same points about ABC. But then what he said was, if we're complaining about the refs, we're losing. So do Republicans wish there had been more fact checks of Kamala Harris? Sure. I would point out that Donald Trump got more than 10 minutes more than Kamala Harris to speak last night. So he was given a lot more time to speak by the numbers, and he had opportunities to use that time however he wanted. And the challenge was he used that time to take every bait that Kamala Harris put in front of him. He spewed lie after lie after lie after lie. And I'm glad that the moderators did fact check some of them. And I think that the American people last night saw, setting aside what ABC did or didn't do, I think they saw two very different candidates. And a Donald Trump who, when put under pressure from Kamala Harris, you know, not Joe Biden, this isn't June 25th when we were sitting here on this couch the day after talking about that. When he was put on the spot, he lied and lied and lied.
You mentioned lie a lot, but was it truthful for her to bring up a Charlottesville hoax, a bloodbath hoax? Was that,
is that a lie? I'm going to say, I don't think those are hoaxes. I have lived in Charlottesville. I was not there then.
But that is not what he said.
I have watched that over and over again. And it's not just that, Kayleigh. There are so many times he has winked and nodded to white supremacists throughout his career. It's not in a vacuum here.
All right, so the election isn't over, but nearly 60 million people saw that, and it was a beatdown.
Make no mistake about it. Trump had a bad night.
So what now? The money is drying up. Truth Social is nearly bankrupt. Trump has hinted he will flee to Venezuela if Harris wins. I mean, this is like a bad episode of House of Cards. Trump is flailing, and his support structure looks like a Ukrainian laundromat.
I thought that you're being much too kind, Bill, as you usually are, to President Trump. He was childish. He was creepy. He was cringy. That thing about eating dogs, they eat dogs, he was obsessed with it. He wouldn't let it go. He put that bone in his mouth and he rattled it. He couldn't make a straight point. He kept returning to generalizations as thinking that through braggadocio alone that he could prevail. He was terrible.
So debate again? Not likely. Trump told his man love, Sean Hannity, he can no longer trust anyone on Fox but Hannity and this guy, Jesse Waters, whose pig-like utterances fit in perfectly with Donnie's soiled diapers.
She's going to get paralyzed in the Situation Room while the generals have their way with her. Right now,
Jesse Waters.
Jesse.
But the question is, will Trump have the courage to debate? The Harris camp will badger him, but Trump won't do it because he knows he can't get better. And with Taylor Swift's 200 million plus Instagram followers registering to vote, you have to ask, what's Trump going to do now? Well, there is another plan. The Washington Post released a poll where 1 in 7 Republicans believe that if Harris wins, Trump should take control of the government by force.
Let's have trial by combat.
By force? Have you seen Trump and his insurrectionist posse? These guys are cholesterol machines, and they can't take a dump without risking a stroke, so I'm not going to lose sleep over them. But I will say this, as Trump falters and fades, Democrats need to remember the Republicans that stood up, risking everything to do the right thing. From Cheney to Kinzinger to Romney, this was never about Democrats versus Republicans. It was decency and honor versus this pig. So what now? I don't know, take them to Springfield, Ohio. Maybe the immigrants are still hungry.
Damn right.
I'm ready, let's go.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Trust me.
Shut the f*** up, Dan.
Who's with me?
Oh, yeah, the lie.
Indictable.
Out of sheer morbid curiosity, I'm allowing this freak show to continue.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.